I will quickly just share my screen so you will be able to see my presentation. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Today I'm here to give you a quick, light and practical talk about the developments in the field of artificial intelligence and how fast it seems to be advancing. Yeah, I also wanted to first share a few things about myself. So, as Vasilika presented me, I'm Orsolya Morzsik. I'm a machine learning engineer at Byborg Enterprise. I actually graduated not too long ago in 2021, and my thesis focused on facial emotion recognition on images. And what is really important, and I wanted to say with this, that what took me months to build back then, like collect the data and train my own neural network, this would all take an hour or less today. And not just because I've learned a lot since working here, but of course because the technology itself is advancing at an incredible pace. And partly because of this, but of course I'm very passionate about AI itself. I am really eager to bring AI closer to people, because I know that it can seem very insanely fast as it's progressing, and maybe even scary for those who don't understand it that much. And also wanted to mention a bit of a fun fact about me, that I'm also very passionate about animals, and this fun fact might be relevant a bit later. Because of I am joining online, I created a QR code for a Google form for questions, because I'm not sure how well it would be. So I'm not sure how will the questions go, but I can read what you submit there, and I'm not sure how many will I receive. Maybe I just choose a few of them. So please scan this, and then we can move forward with the presentation. So when I started working 3 or a bit more years ago, AI wasn't as widespread as it is today. It was mostly used by researchers or developers like me. Of course, it was integrated in many tools back then, but it just, the entering level was way higher, I would say. The trending architectures back then included transformers, which, even if none of you heard about it, it was actually the one thing that laid the foundations for today's LLMs, as it really accelerated the processing of text sequences by allowing the model to understand context far better than previous ones. And CNNs, convolutional networks, a neural network, was important because, well, first, before we generate images, we kind of have to understand what is going on images. So my thesis, my emotion recognizer, was based on a CNN as well. These solutions and many more were, as I mentioned, built-in tools like facial recognition, self-driving models, recommendation systems. But I would say that if you would look like and compare today's usage, it was kind of still limited, although it wasn't even back then. And then some major milestones I experienced firsthand was the rise of the GPT and the LLMs. So I'm not even sure, maybe it was 2022 when it really became a huge thing, but maybe even 2021. And I think we all know that it just, I don't know, conquered the internet. Of course, back then it still produced a lot of failures and gave unsolicited advices, but since then we come a long way, and also the diffusion models came out, which really revolutionized the image generation. So if you want to see a squirrel in Van Gogh style, you can, and even more. It's just my creativity is failing me currently. I wanted to say a few words about how LLMs work, in case some of you are not familiar with it. So here you can see a workflow of how an LLM works. Of course, very simplified. I also took, I brought one example which I will show you. I will break down with it how it works. So in case of a ChatGPT, there you are in the chat window and you put in an input sentence, tell me about the AI. So this is, you are the prompting the model about something, and it will process this information by first tokenizing it, so breaking it up to smaller pieces basically, and it will also start the processing process of recognizing patterns. So, for example, this means that in the vast amount of data that LLM was trained on, there will be a lot of example sentences which starts as tell me about and then something. And based on the context awareness, so for example, this is important with AI, it will not look up the A and I letters separately. It will know that it is the artificial intelligence and that it has to get and generate information about that. So what will happen next is that given this sentence, this sequence of tokens, it will predict the next most probable word. So in this case, it will be artificial. Why? Because that was the word that happened to show up the most times for this sequence. So what's it gonna look like in the end? Of course, this is only for the first word yet. So this will be artificial, and this whole sequence will be done again and again and again for the next word, predicting what would be the next best word that fits in that sentence. And so of course these all seem very coherent at first, and maybe even scary. Oh my God, it knows everything. It's very book smart, but the thing is that the LLMs do not understand things as we do, and this is why they can make up factual misinformation a lot of time, because predicting the next best word doesn't mean that it will also only is why it's very important anytime you interact with an LLM or any type of AI content that you recheck every time what output you get, because you can never trust it fully. Well, not yet anyway. So we reached the present with at least some knowledge of what is the thing that makes this big fuss around us. And we can say that today AI is everywhere. It's implemented in every kind of search bar, even Google. You have all kinds of virtual assistants, or you can generate content like an email that you don't want to write. There will be a tool for that. Or summarizing long meeting notes, there is a tool for that. Basically, you can get a little bit of help everywhere from AI currently. LLMs, so models like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or DeepSeek are improving rapidly, and this doesn't just mean that, oh, they talk more human-like or they are faster. There are already reasoning models, for example, which are better at reasoning and are able to handle more complex tasks. Still, they are not infallible. And multimodal AI is also, I would say, a really nice advancement here, which means that these models can receive input and produce output in more than one format. I mean, text, image, video, audio. You maybe speak to it and it will answer in a text, or you can prompt it with text to generate images. So there is also this this continuity between the formats as well, I would say. I wanted to mention at least a few scientific breakthroughs, because I mentioned a lot of mainstream kind of things that we are aware of, but AI is also very much usable on this more practical stuff. Like with AlphaFold, they would predict a lot of problems and maybe solve also a lot of problems about protein folding. Or there is medical imaging where with the help of image processing models, they can not only process these MRIs and CTs and X-rays much faster and maybe detect something, but also might be even more accurate sometimes than doctors. Of course, this still doesn't mean that they can work unsupervised. This is important, but still it's a very useful tool to assist them. And this will be the case with many other jobs as well. And with this note, what will it be like in the future? So a lot of us might be afraid of Skynet and the kind. What is more likely to happen in the next few years actually is there will be a lot of AI regulations. So these already bound to happen. There have been a few precedents of court cases about AI being misused, or lawyers using AI promptly to create motion or copyright issues. These things need to be addressed, and as we probably will advance even faster in the future, this needs to happen very soon. Human AI collaborations. So I'm optimistic. I think that AI will not replace us, but actually will help us out. Like it will be more like a partner than someone superior. We can use it as a very efficient tool. We can actually enhance our efficiency with it. And we should, I don't know, not be afraid of it or proud not to use it. It's here. You don't have to use it, but probably you will get behind in some time if you refuse to do it in any ways. AI agents, so this sounds a bit sci-fi, I know, but this is more about models that are capable to more autonomous tasks. So more like an assistant that can handle, I don't know, your calendar actively and isn't just active when you prompt it, but can take actions on their own, but more likely automated still. What is unlikely to happen? So AGI, artificial general intelligence, we are really far from a conscious sentient artificial intelligence. Let's stay here. It won't hurt us. Neither quantum AI, whatever that can mean, will destroy us. Even if we use quantum computers in the future to be more efficient when training them, it still doesn't mean that it's gonna suddenly become sentient. So stay calm. A few takeaways about this talk. What I think is important for you to understand is that we all have to keep learning. So if you see some fun tool, experiment with it, even maybe try to look under the hood and see why is this works, how is this works, follow advancements. This can be hard for someone who usually doesn't read on tech news, but for example, you can follow OpenAI's blog, and after a while, you will probably find what is the news that really interests you. Stay adaptable. I think this speaks for itself, but the key thing is that you eventually have to learn somehow how to use these tools to stay as efficient as others. It will be very important to improve on more complementary skills than trying to stay ahead of AI. And I mean like creativity, because LLMs and other models are still limited by the things they know, and we humans have this amazing ability to think in very abstract ways and invent new things. And of course, with machine learning models, they can help us achieve them, but probably we will be the one who put down the building stone for this. Critical thinking is important in a way, as I mentioned, that don't trust everything that is AI generated. They can and will very confidently tell you wrong things. Um, Sometimes it's actually quite funny. Prompting. Prompt engineering is a really popular word nowadays. It's even a job, and there is courses for it. What I can say that it is important. You can, of course, learn this on your own, trial and error way. Mm, it's important to know how to talk to these models, how to comment them, because the better you are in these, the faster you can get a project done, for example. Responsible AI use, I think this is very important, if not the most important, because privacy matters. So with these models, with these free models, they are never that free. You have to pay attention on what data you are sharing. Never share personal information or passwords or whatever with these, because they can be used for training. And the general rule of thumb with these models, that if you are not paying for them to not use your data, well then you are paying with your data. Of course, this doesn't have to mean, this doesn't mean that they are watching you and stealing every bit of your info, but you have to be aware when, for example, sharing codes or sharing, for example, documents to summarize, because those can have your personal information. Ethical AI use. So with this, I kind of mean that try your best to know what you are using and why it is important. If you are, if you don't know, if you are not aware of what the model has been trained on, you might be subjected to biases that that are not so good. Let's stay at that. Also, try not to, how to say this, try to, okay, so I can't phrase this quite well, so let's keep it at that part, that here you should know what you are using. Misinformation. This is partly on the topic of the hallucinating, when you get factually wrong information from these LLMs, but also all these social media and online shops are filled with AI generated content, because of course some people will use it to bad reasons. And then you should be aware what is probably AI looking like AI, talks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And then you might avoid some uncomfortable situation when you order something and something totally different arrives. Well, that should be the least bad, but that would be bad. I brought a few links for you, so I will shortly talk about them, and then you could take a photo of the slide. But after, I will also have a QR code about this, so you don't have to take a photo of this. So a few tools that you could try out at homework, is Human. This is an emotion recognition. Well, it has an emotional recognition part as well, which is kind of going back to what I started with, that these things can be done in a very short amount of time, and it can be done much better. So just to show you very quickly, I'm here as well, and you can see that it's in real time telling me about my expressions. I'm quite amused and joyous and interested. I guess it really can see it well. Also, you can here check the same for speech, so you can already see that it's not only an algorithm for an image for one kind of emotion, but a very multimodal type of solution. Teachable machine. So with I also prepared a demo for this. These are basically, you can teach classification models under a minute. This is quite just a fun project to try out. And here we came back to the fact that I'm an animal lover. Because I trained a model to differentiate me and my animals. And my lovely assistant just brought me an animal. So she is Barca. And you can see here that she's quite shy, but it works with her at least. And I will just quickly sort through my animals because it's cute content and also very nice technological talk. So she is actually both up, but hard for the model to differentiate because Morzsik is also kind of a white cat, but she can be found. So sadly, I won't be able to show you her, probably asleep somewhere. This is Suno. I won't be able to demo this because you would have to, so you need to listen to it. These are, you can find a lot of AI generated music and generate yourself by using really quick words. Like yesterday I created a medieval lullaby for my sweet doggo, and it was awesome. Segment anything. This is really just some kind of fun project to try out. I might be able to show you really quickly, but probably you won't be able to see anything because of Teams. But the quick gist of it, and sorry it doesn't work. So let's get back to it. But the quick gist of it, that you can segment objects on the video, and it will trace them in real time. The objects. It's pretty cool. I think it's amazing that we are able to do all these kind of stuff just for fun. And here you can scan these. This will lead you to a link tree where you can click on these tools. All of them are free, but for some of them you do need to sign up. Yeah, that's the caveat for these. I quickly re-showing you the questions QR code, just in case that maybe you forgot to or didn't have the time to scan it, or maybe now you can think of a question.
So you can ask questions just by QR code. It will be easier for Orsolya to track them.
Yeah, and here we arrived here at the questions. I will open the Google Forms soon to check if I received any questions there. You can also take a photo here if you want me to contact later about any questions that you didn't want to ask in the Google form, or you just want to reach out for any good reason. You can find me here on LinkedIn, or you can mail me. And I will just check the forms quickly. And sorry, one thing, I left out my last slide, which is a big thank you slide. So thank you for listening to me. Okay.
Thank you very much, Orsolya, for your talk. So, do we have any questions? Do you see them?
I'm having a bit of a technical issue.
We actually can ask questions by micro also.
Yeah, that's cool as well.
You can try to find. Maybe you can want to ask some question just like this. Okay. So we have first question, and also Orsolya, just a second. So Orsolya didn't tell you, but we have some gifts for speakers and for the best questions. So you got this. Do you see small part?